Hey, it's Joni with lidl.doodle. Thanks for stopping by my channel. I'm going to share my most recent pen purchase and some brown inks that I had to pull out to see which would work best. So here we go. I purchased the Jinhao 10, which is a knockoff of the Pilot Vanishing Point. And the reason why I purchased the knockoff, because I normally don't purchase knockoffs because I'm like, if I'm going to spend the money on a pen, I don't want to spend like $30 and then end up purchasing, the actual pen. But I have hated the Pilot Vanishing Point, the look of it, the thought of it, everything about it. Every time we would watch the Goulet Pencast and they would talk about the Vanishing Point, I'd be like, shut up about the Vanishing Point.
Shut up about the sun!
And when I saw this ombre, I thought, I love this so much. And I actually had been thinking about reconsidering trying a Vanishing Point, but I didn't want to spend the money. So when I saw this color come in and it was popping up online on some other pen videos that I watch, I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. Well, Amazon had sold out, of course, because it was on some other videos. I grabbed the last one on eBay from a seller in Japan, and it's taken like 2 weeks to get here. But here it is. And you guys, I love it. I love the color. I inked it up and it flowed perfectly right away. No hard starts. The only issue I have with it, with the clip, so on the actual Pilot Vanishing Point, I think there's kind of a little, not cut out, but it kind of goes in a little bit right here so your fingers rest. I did notice when I was writing with this that my fingers kind of get hung up right there, but besides that, I have zero complaints. So I'll show you just a quick little writing sample. The reason why we're doing this video is because obviously with a brown pen, I had to pull out all my brown inks and then had to kind of narrow them down for what I thought might work with this. Plus, this is a fine nib. It only came in fine and extra fine. So it's a fine nib, so I didn't want to put shimmer in it. I grabbed some brown inks, and so I'm going to just do some swatching here in just a second just for fun. But let's look at this. This is a lovely writer. And I put one ink in it. I'll tell you in a minute when I swatch it. It wasn't dark enough, and so I put a little bit of a second ink on top of it, and now I'm really happy with this color choice. This was $23. It was free shipping from Japan. It took about 2 weeks maybe, and super easy to fill, cartridge converter. I did make a little bit of a mess, so don't mind that, but it just goes right in, and now I'm covered in ink. Super happy with this purchase. Amazon does have some other colors still, and I would definitely recommend this if you are thinking at all about the Vanishing Point, or if you like the idea of a clicker. Go for it. I know Jinhao does a lot of knockoffs or replicas of different pens, and I haven't ever purchased them. I've heard good things about them, but this brown, it just got me. So, all right, let's talk about some inks. I pulled 6 inks that I wanted to look out for this pen. One ended up being a shimmer. Oh, no, just kidding. 3 have shimmer, and I knew that I wouldn't be using a shimmer in a fine nib, but I had to put this ink in my inkwell. This is Colorverse string, and you can see how tiny the bottle is. So neither my muddler or my dip pen fit into this teeny tiny little bottle. So I went ahead and just put some in my inkwell because that'll make it easier for me to swatch it. I like this ink. It's a yellowy brown. I felt like it was too yellow for this pen. So it did not get a spot, but I do think it's a lovely color. And if my voice sounds a little scratchy, you guys, I've been sick for the last week. Oh my gosh, so much stuff is going around at school. Everybody is sick. And I didn't have to miss any work, but I've kind of been just feeling it this week. Next ink is Diamine Tobacco Sunburst. So this is the one that I immediately after looking through my swatches thought, okay, I'm going to put this in my new Jinhao. I love this ink. It's beautiful. It just didn't end up being dark enough for me just by itself. So let's do a swatch. We'll see what it does when I actually swatch it on this paper. So it looks a lot darker going down here on this paper, but of course this is with the muddler, not with a fine nib. This is less kind of orange. This has a little more yellow to it. I really do like this ink. Let's do a little writing sample with it. Let's move on. The next ink, this is just my go-to for brown. I have this in a pen already, and I added it to Tobacco Sunset for my Jinhao. This is Robert Oster Cafe Crema. I have this in a Opus 88, Opus Mini 88. Such a solid brown. If you are looking for just a beautiful, rich, lovely brown, oh, Cafe Crema just makes me happy. So combining Cafe Crema and Tobacco Sunset, Sunburst, gave me the right color for the Jinhao that I'm pretty happy with. I might switch it out. I may try a shimmer ink in there and just see how that fine nib does, but I'm not in a hurry to do that. I have enough pens with tons of shimmer. Okay, now we've got our shimmer inks that I pulled out. And these would probably be the ones that I would try in the pen because I just really like the brown. So this one is Diamine Salted Caramel. It's got some gold shimmer in there. This was from one of the ink vents. And I think it would be a really pretty brown in there. We'll see. We'll see if I swap it out. Goes down kind of light. It's kind of weird. It's like it's sitting on the paper. I don't feel like it behaved that way when I swatched it on my Wearing Gold cards. That's interesting. All right, so it seemed to do better in the writing sample as far as laying the pigment down on the paper. We'll see what it looks like when it dries with that swatch. I've got another Diamine. Well, I guess the last two are Diamine. This is Yule Log, another of the ink vents. And this has more of a copper shimmer. And again, thought this would be a pretty match for the Jinhao if I go with a shimmer ink. see if this one goes down on the paper better. Looks like it is. So this is a little richer than the salted caramel. And you know, another color that I could have pulled out from one of the Inkvent calendars is the Diamine Cinnabon. But you guys, it's a smelly ink, and if you've been around, you know how I feel about smelly inks. I actually put it in a pen once and didn't realize that it was smelly. I had forgotten or whatever. I couldn't get it out of that pen fast enough, and even to this day, I've cleaned that pen so many times and I still smell Cinnabon when I write with it. Ugh. Okay. I like Yule Log. I think it's pretty. That might be my first choice for the Jinhao 10 if I do a scented ink. And our last brown ink. Oh, this is just classic Cocoa Shimmer. I do have this in my Bennu. Oh, I can't remember the name of it, but it's the sparkly one with brown. If you know Bennu, you know that pen. It's the Briolette. And it's perfect in there. But Cocoa Shimmer is just a fantastic ink. Love this ink. It's a little bit lighter, it looks like, than Yule Log. All right, so there are just a few brown inks. What do you think? I'm gonna let these dry and then hold them up close to the camera so we can take a closer look. We're almost all the way dry, but let's take a quick look at these close up. So there's that Colorverse string. Look at that lovely shading right here. Oh, I just love that. And writing sample, pretty solid. There's the Tobacco Sunburst. Oh my gosh, I'm just loving that. I wish it came through that dark on the Jinhao. It just didn't for the first few writing samples. There's the Robert Oster Cafe Crema. Such a lovely ink. Still a little bit wet there, but you can see that shading. So I do feel good about the combination of these two because just a little bit of the Cafe Crema richened up the Tobacco Sunburst for my Jinhao. There's the Salted Caramel. Taking a little bit of time to dry there, but you can kind of get the gist. A little shimmer in the writing sample. And there's the Yule Log. I think that's super pretty. The copper shimmer comes out, but it's not like a real in-your-face shimmer. And then finally, Cocoa Shimmer that I will just love forever. Will always have Cocoa Shimmer in a pen. It lives in my Bennu right now because it's perfect for it, but that's definitely an ink I would have in other pens. Okay, so there are 6 brown inks and a new Jinhao. What do you think? Have you tried a Jinhao before? Do you have a vanishing point? Do you like the vanishing point? I was so resistant to it because I just felt like it was just weird. And I was grumpy about the clip being at my fingers. But now that I've got this one, I think I'm okay with it. I don't think, however, that I will invest in an actual vanishing point unless a specific color comes available. I will tell you the reason why I really started falling down this rabbit hole is because there was a limited edition, I believe, maybe 2023. Oh, I'm gonna get the year wrong. Anyway, it was like a matte green, but it was like a jade green, dark jade green, I think, and it was stunning. They don't exist anywhere. I know one pen video that I follow, she was selling hers and it sold in like, I don't know, 2 seconds. So anyway, I'm happy with this, but I don't think I will make the leap to an actual vanishing point unless they come up with a fantastic color that's better than this one, because this is just stunning. I love this. Thank you for hanging out. If you've made it this far, if you have any questions, put them in the comments and let me know what you think. What's your favorite of these 6? What do you think of this pen? Are you in love with the ombre as much as I am? Okay, I will see you in the next video. Since I've been sick, I've got some ideas and I've got some things to share. So hopefully I will get to filming this week, because I have a lot I want to share with you. Thank you for hanging out. See you in the next video.